All right. Hey, Maverick Mary. Got Spunky Susan here, and we are now live in the Rewrite Your History, the Courage to Create Wealth and Wellbeing group. And welcome, community. I'm excited about our weekly show that has been created by Maverick Mary. So it is What's Your Journey show, where we will be bringing live weekly every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8:30 Eastern Time, and bringing a different topic. And this week's topic is family traditions. I was going to actually play that song by Hank Williams Jr., Family Traditions, but I forgot. So, hello, Mary. How's it going tonight?
It's going great right back at you, where we've been blessed here in the eastern part of the United States with some cool weather, but just a few snowflakes. Nothing too bad here in Connecticut yet. Haven't had any snow days yet, but I understand in Vermont they got quite a bit of snow. And at the University of Vermont, they never shut down the campus. They still have classes. If you're trudging through the snow with your backpack to class, you're in.
Or snowboarding.
Right.
All right. So, well, Mary, last week we didn't do a proper introduction of you. So how about you share with our community who you are, what you're up to in this world? I actually did a interview with Mary here a few months back on my podcast show, A New Day with Susan. And she does some pretty fabulous work out there. So how about you do that? Give us some background, girl.
Well, thanks. I think the screen's going to show a crawler going across with my website. When you go to that website, it talks about professional workshops that I do. You can get quotes on things. It has a lot of videos in the classroom because primarily I'm a teacher. In the classroom, I teach math intervention for grades 5 through 8. In addition to that, I do SATs and ACT teaching to get kids ready for the tests. I'm a leadership provider. I do a teen leadership program after school. And an ACES program, which is Academic Center for Excellence after school. And I'm partnering with another company right now called Academic Window, that we are preventative school counseling assessment tool. So if you remember, maybe back in the old days, you used to take tests in school for academics. This would be somewhat of a survey for how you're feeling emotionally and socially, so we can act on that as a school community before things get out of hand.
Awesome.
So that's a little bit.
And did you say you were a coach?
I do coaching. As a matter of fact, I'm toggling back and forth with Susan right before this started. So the coaching that I do is more academic involved or as a leadership coach. So that would either be with school leaders and administrators and teachers and counselors as well, or it could be with a company itself, just trying to get the work culture to where it needs to be.
Whoops, I don't know what happened there, but okay. We got to love that technology. All right, so I'm going to leave that up there for just a minute. You guys bear with me. This is we're doing the live tonight through BeLiveTV.tv. It's an amazing platform. I absolutely love it. This is the first time though, however, I'm using the show platform within the BeLive platform itself, where you can actually bring guests on. And so Mary and I are going to spend the first 10-15 minutes just talking about our topic, which is family traditions. It is holidays. And so we thought it would be kind of cool to be talking about different things weekly throughout the holidays. And if you have some suggestions on topics that you'd like to dive deep into, we'd love to hear them in the comments. And if you are here, please let us know. And the way this will work tonight is just put a comment. If you have a question or you'd like to share, let us know in the comments, and I will be posting the link during the time of Q&A. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get started on this topic. What was your thoughts around family traditions, Mary?
I was thinking that family traditions really means something that you remember when you're older, about something that you did with your family when you were younger. When I was a kid, we often went to my aunt and uncle's house. They had 5 children, and my uncle always made the birthday cake. My uncle was a Marine, and somehow he got a family of 5 kids. And he did a lot of cooking, and he always made the birthday cakes. And I was always excited when we got to go there to have birthday cake, because it wasn't just any other birthday cake. He would always make the cake and then cut out the center and put pudding in it.
Oh, I love that. That sounds good.
So no matter what piece you had a little bit of pudding at the end of it or near it. So I always liked the cake because it had pudding in the middle of it. And if we went and my aunt, because her whole job was to always help my uncle in his business and also, take care of the 5 kids. But if we were over there playing with the kids, she'd say, okay, it's tea time and let's have tea. So the little kids would always get iced, like a powdered iced tea. And she'd put the hot water in it. So it tasted more sugary and good. And she had a special mixture for us that was iced tea and Tang mixed together, right? And she would put that in the teacup, and you got to have like the fancy teacup. So you felt like you were all that in a bag of chips, right? So you had the nice cup and you were drinking it. And then as a surprise, she always put little red hots in the bottom so it gave it like a little cinnamon flavor. Those are the 2 things I remember from my aunt and uncles. Nice. What about you?
Did you guys do any like games or just a lot of cooking?
We played board games a lot. I only had one brother, so it was my aunt and uncle's house where all the kids were. So with my brother, there was like 2.5, slightly more years between us. So we used to play a lot of board games, and my dad liked playing chess or checkers, anything in strategy like Battleship or Strategico. And my brother and I used to play Monopoly, but he always hid the money under the board or something, so you always felt bad for him that he was poor, but really he was going to put hotels on his next move, and you were done pretty much. But my aunt and uncles, they always had that super fun, more interactive games. So you played air hockey over there. They had the basketball hoop. They had the pool table. They had trains. They had Hot Wheels and the track. They had you guys are going to laugh when I say this, but when video games first came out, there was Pong and there was Atari. And they had it, but we didn't have it yet. So for those of you millennials out there watching this, Pong was simply a paddle and a ball.
Yay.
And your paddle went up and down like this, hitting your ball against the wall. And the only thing that created spin or anything on the ball was how fast you moved your paddle. So if you if the ball just hit your paddle, it would just bounce back to the wall. But if you were smart enough to go like this with your paddle, maybe you got some zip.
Yeah. And weren't they like really light balls? Like little white light balls. They're like super light and they just kind of went everywhere if you hit them too hard.
Right. It was like a baby Lego.
I love that game. I don't remember ever having that game, but I know I've been to friends' houses who had it.
Oh, jeez. But
that's awesome.
They always had every game that came out that was new. So after video games, I guess air hockey, they had that. Oh, that was the best. I think at one point they even had like a pinball machine in their house, which was like the ultimate to have that.
Yeah.
And my uncle too was the king of having like outrageous birthday parties. So the most outrageous thing that ever happened was he had a hot air balloon and it was terrifying. We only
You've been in a hot air balloon? I'd love to do that.
Up about 10 or 15 feet.
Oh, really?
But the whole time, and you were tethered right to the ground on a stake and people were there managing it. But the whole time, all I could think of is, what if they let go? And I'm just like floating around forever.
Oh, no. No kidding. Oh, my gosh. Well, the interesting thing is stories like that could actually impact you as an adult. And connect any patterns that you have about that stuff. That'll be interesting.
Oh, jeez.
Because not all memories are bad.
No.
They actually seem absurd at some point.
It's pretty funny.
That's cool.
And my uncle used to go to all links at Christmas and he didn't care how old you were. Like Christmas needed to be magical.
Yeah.
Like completely magical. And
wow.
I mean, when you woke up in the morning, if we slept over my aunt and uncle's, like you knew the reindeer came because there was footprints in the driveway and on the snow.
Wow.
And they were on the roof. Like he brought you out in your PJs and you could see the reindeer prints on the roof and on the driveway.
Wow. Sure. No kidding. Wow.
Hey, we have real reindeer here.
We have them too. But I don't remember. This is actually sad, but I don't remember too many holidays. And maybe I'd have to ask my mom, really, like what were some of the traditions? Because they must not have been too consistent for me to remember. I do remember going to my grandma's house, which I absolutely loved going to her house. And just remembering like all the food. Really. That's all I could remember. And Grandpa would chase us around, dropping his teeth out of his mouth and scaring us. And then we went to somebody's house once. It was, I don't even remember who they were. I just know we went to their house and I remember everybody was sitting around drinking, smoking cigarettes and watching. Maybe that was during Thanksgiving. It had to have been because it was football season. That's what I remember. And I think I just spent most of my time playing with the other kids that were around. but I don't remember the holidays very much, honestly. But so that's kind of inspired me to create traditions in my life with my family. Um, so before I realized I had an unconscious mind, um, and was just consciously living from ego, I guess you would say. My Christmases with my boys, who are now adults, we it was a stressful time for me, um, because I always wondered, how in the heck am I even going to afford Christmas? Christmas in my mind meant buying them as much as I could, um, to express my love. And um, it was, yeah, it was always just stressful because I didn't know how I would even afford Christmas. And somehow or another, we would always have a filled Christmas tree filled with presents.
Wow.
And today, though, now that I'm conscious about my unconscious, I get to create it. And I don't have that stress. It's not about how many gifts can I buy, even though I enjoy buying gifts now versus it being a stressful process. Um, and I say joyfully spoiling my kids and I had to let go of what people thought about how I was spending money on my kid, you know.
Mhm.
But last year, our I created the family tradition of, well, I guess we've always had this tradition. We'd have everybody come over on Christmas Eve, and Buck will make his shrimp stew because he's from Louisiana, and then we have crab legs. Like, we just fill up on a great food, and sometimes we'll play card games. I don't know if you're familiar with that card. It's kind of not a real, it's dirty card game. But we didn't play it before Bella was born, so we probably won't while she's here. Um, but we play card games and just made it fun. Um,
Mhm.
let's see what else. Last year, for the first time, what I did is a white elephant Christmas. I figured, okay, I got to do something where I'm not panicking about who am I going to get gifts for and what do they need, and oh my, it's just too stressful. So I thought, well, let's do the white elephant Christmas, and everybody buys a gift, universal gift that's under $20. And everybody did that, and it was so
Wow.
cool. Yeah, and you just draw a number, and the number, and so I would just pull a number, and whoever had that number would pick a gift from the pile, and they'd
Mhm.
open it. And it was so fun because after, like, if you picked a number or if you picked a gift, you could actually say, no, I don't want to pick a gift. I want that person's gift. So it was super fun. So you could steal people's presents. And then at the end of the evening, to end the evening, we ended it in a prayer and expressing
Oh,
gratitude with a candle. I'd have each person would hold the candle and express something that they were grateful for. And it was
wow.
so interesting to watch, um, because took them a little bit to express something they were grateful for. Um, but for me, I just cherished, gonna make me cry, just cherish all of that last part. Like, to me, that I just love being with my family. And when I get all four of my boys in the house at the same time, I eat that up. And um, yeah, so
I think
that's,
it's so hard to get them all together at once, isn't it? With
it is.
everybody having their own lives. I know with
Yep.
two of my daughters married, one in
Oh,
college for her bachelor's and the other one in college for her master's. It makes things a little wonky, but we already planned Christmas. So I'll see them like the 26th or 27th, and I'll see
yeah.
three of them, but the other one's in South Carolina, so I won't see her.
Oh,
So it still won't be all four, but
yeah.
3 out of 4 is not bad. But when you were saying the white elephant, oh my
Yeah.
goodness, I was thinking you're going to crack up. But of course, I'm from the East, from the Northeast. So, of course, we call the white elephant a Yankee swap here, people.
I love it. I should use that one in the invitations because my oldest son's like this big football. He was a football player, and he's like, I think he's a Seahawks fan. I don't know, but he'll probably be like, "What's this about?"
Yeah, we call it a swap, and we deliberately we would get funny gifts.
Yeah.
And depending on your number, all the gifts are laid out. And of course, some people pick the biggest gift or the smallest. They're all wrapped, so you don't know what's in it.
Yeah.
So if you don't like it and someone else that gets a gift, if you want to swap with them, you can. So
that's cool. All right. Well, we're definitely going to do that again this year. We really enjoyed it. But I'm wondering if maybe I should start before we do the gifts, do the gratitude candle before that.
People might be more focused.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Everybody was
before
tired.
The wrapping paper comes off.
Yeah. And by then everybody's tired. They're like, okay, it's time to go. Yeah. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll switch it up a little bit. That way it's, I'm going to do that. Well, so Mary, it looks like we don't have any viewers tonight.
Well, I think that we have a new platform. So people get to watch everybody that's not with us right now. They'll get to watch the replay. I know that some of my viewers have gone to YouTube to see the replays. And if you do go to YouTube and you find us, we'll post the link up here so that you can go and see the replay. We'll post it across, and we'll also put it in the Facebook group. Please be sure to subscribe in addition to giving us the thumbs up.
That's right. Yes. Well, I think that's a little shitty that everybody's not here. I'm sad that they're probably, I'm just teasing. They're probably spending some time with loved ones. I know Karen was going to try to be here tonight. I know a lot of the people on the eastern side, 8:30 is too late for them.
Okay. Well,
but I like you said,
because after this, I still have to work until 11. So
well, that's because we're soul workers. We're trailblazers. You know what I love is I work from home, and I just work throughout the day. Like I just go with what's inspired in the moment. And today I was just completely inspired. I was doing some journaling and literally worked through an issue that I had with my daughter. Not with her. It's really just me. But it was really cool. And then it wasn't long after that, I just had this inspiration for a new course that I'm creating. And that's the way it goes. Wow. Like it just transitioning from constantly doing and procrastinating all the time and having structures and lists and all, working from my calendar all the time. I mean, it was overwhelmingly stressful. And I've been just doing this new way of doing things, and it's just literally like flow and ease. My house is staying clean because I drop in a lot quicker when I'm cleaning my house. But yeah, and this me coming to you and saying, so would you like to do this show thing was an inspiration. Like I was looking through my timeline and I thought, man, I would love to see if we could get this going. Because I know I had talked about it a little bit. And we had one person in the group do one. But there's just not been any interest. So I'd love to get some feedback from the community. Share some. I know we got Mary who shared some topic ideas. We also have Holly, Adele, after that show we did last week, she made some suggestions, which were some really good ones too. So maybe we could create a calendar of string of events with those already topics, and people can pick and choose. And like Mary said, go to our YouTube and watch it on there. Or I think what I'll do too, Mary, is put the replay links to the YouTube in the file section, like create a page just for that. Just for so people can like pick and choose what they want to go listen to first or something. But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it just takes a while for things to take off, like anything else, and stick with it. I think the real truth of it is the procrastination thing usually occurs because we're afraid of failing at something that we're thinking about creating. And Nike, forgive me for this comment, but you need to just do it.
Do it.
And do it afraid, because
that's right.
If no one ever did anything being fearful, nothing would ever get done. I mean, if you think of Thomas Edison, for instance, how many times he failed with his inventions. I mean, his wife was pretty much sick of him. Like, oh, really?
Yeah.
He's going to like blow up the house, you know? And he just failed so many times, but the few times he was successful turned out to be, we're reading about him in books. So who knows, Susan?
Yeah.
People might be reading about us in books one day. You never know.
I know that. Yeah. I actually have a title for a new book. I don't know if you saw my post, but I just received this download. Well, maybe I just won't share the title yet.
Okay.
We'll see. It'll be a surprise.
Keep it under wraps.
That's right. All right, you guys. Well, we're at the top of the hour here. And for those of you that come on later to watch the replay, Mary might have something she'd like to end this with, but I would love to find out, like, what are your memories of your family traditions, and did you bring them up into your lifetime, with your children today, or your family in general, like, or did you create new ones for yourself? I think it would be awesome to find out what people are doing during the holiday seasons.
Absolutely. I think we should just end with our usual N.
And I think we need to add music to this, by the way. We got to find a song. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mary.
You'll think of your powerful song. We used to call it in college and teacher training, we used to call it our walk song, because when you walked up to the podium, they would play your song. Or if you got cold called for a question, you had to do your walk to your song. And it played for like 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
But everybody's like, oh, they knew without even looking who was coming.
All right. Well, maybe we should do a poll, Mary. What song should we play for our show? That's what I'll do. Yep. Yeah, there we go. Definitely. All right. Well, everybody, you guys have a great evening. Thank you, Mary. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Susan.